If you were going to the big house, how to survive life in the big house. I'm talking about actress Lori Loughlin reportedly hiring a prison coach to teach her jail slang, fighting skills, all of that to prison coach, speaking president and CEO John Fuller. John, good to have you.
Thank you.
Now, I know you didn't leak this in your own case, but the reports were that you advised Martha Stewart. I don't want to get in the middle of that, but if that was the case, she did very, very well, heeding whatever advice you might have, and befriended many in that West Virginia prison. In this case, we don't know where this whole Loughlin thing goes, but you think she could be going to jail. We just don't know what type of facility, right?
No, I suspect because Toby McFarland pled guilty to 6 months in prison for his role in the parent scheme for $450,000, that, you know, her case is a situation where it's $500,000. If she accepts responsibility, likely she'll serve less than 18 months in prison.
But she hasn't yet, right?
No, not yet. And that's a huge problem, because if she decides that she wants to go to trial, how is she going to convince a jury that she mistakenly or unknowingly gifted $500,000 to a charitable organization?
So let's say she goes to some type of facility. It could be a country club facility, as they like to call them, and maybe a more severe one. But what do you envision, and what do you think these who are advising her are telling her to do in such a facility?
Well, reports have it that she's taking martial arts to prepare her. You know, whoever gave her that advice was clearly the worst advice that she's received thus far.
Because they've all heard about it.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the inmates watch television also. And so if she thinks that she's going to go in there and bully other inmates or actually defend herself, she's wrong, because when inmates target you deliberately, it's never one. I mean, I remember the case of, what was his name? Dariel Dixon. He was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu professor, and he was raped repeatedly for hours in his situation, and that was someone who specialized in martial arts.
But how does some of them avoid it? I don't want to bring up the Martha Stewart, but she, there was a lot of growing she did, and a lot of befriending she did in that prison, so much so that she returned there to visit and talk to those women and to deal with them and to help them. That was a very different approach.
Yes, because the object of being respected is not to disrespect, first and foremost. And so if she's with a prison consultant and she's practicing fighting, then obviously they're preparing her to be in disrespectful situations. And that doesn't happen often in prison camps, because people behave themselves down to that particular custody level.
So you shouldn't act like the celebrity you are, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be a normal person, but there are certain prison etiquettes that you simply cannot ignore. You know, you don't simply go sit on someone's bed to tie your shoe because you may be assigned to an upper bunk and this person's on a lower bunk. That's an invitation for sexual advancement, you know, in prison. And so there are certain nuances, but she can navigate them if her prison consultant is experienced as she thinks he is.
Not doing the Bruce Lee recommendations and all that stuff. John Fuller, thank you very, very much. Very wise words. Maybe, Lori Loughlin, if you're hearing, maybe consider a couple of them.